Hello everyone, welcome to the What If Anime YouTube channel. Today, we are diving into an exciting new story that will take your imagination to the next level. Let's get started. What if Beerus chose Naruto as his successor? A gentle wind whispered through the trees of Konoha as the early morning sun painted the hidden leaf village in warm hues of gold and amber. The village was already stirring awake, its people, warriors, and families beginning their day with routines as old as the village itself. Among them, Naruto Uzumaki, with his unmistakable bright orange attire and an even brighter smile, was finishing his morning run along the winding paths of the forest. Unbeknownst to him, today would be unlike any other day, a day when two universes, each with its own destiny and order, would begin an irreversible intertwining. Naruto's footsteps were rhythmic and steady as he navigated the familiar terrain, his mind abuzz with thoughts of his responsibilities as a ninja and his dreams of becoming Hokage. Despite his usual exuberance, an undercurrent of seriousness lay beneath his vibrant exterior. Life had taught him that true strength lay not in mere physical ability but in the heart, the spirit, and the willingness to stand by one's convictions. As he rounded a bend near the ancient training grounds, he paused to catch his breath and gaze at the sky, a vast, endless canvas that he often wondered about. High above, far beyond the realm of mortal ken, the cosmos teemed with energies that defied understanding. In a realm where time and space were malleable, Beerus, the god of destruction, floated in contemplative silence. His presence was a paradox of serene nonchalance and volatile power, though his duty was to maintain cosmic balance by annihilating what was no longer needed. He was not without a sense of aesthetic appreciation. Even a deity of such overwhelming power could find beauty in the diverse tapestry of life scattered throughout the multiverse. It was during one of these silent, contemplative moments that Beerus felt it, a spark of energy that was at once familiar and utterly unique. Like ripples upon the fabric of reality, this energy surged from a distant world, an energy that carried the unmistakable mark of perseverance, hope, and an indomitable will. Intrigued, Beerus's luminous eyes narrowed as he turned his attention toward the planet that harbored this unusual resonance, Earth, and more specifically, the land of shinobi that thrived under the legacy of centuries-old traditions. The day in Konoha had taken on an almost surreal quality without any immediate indication of the cause. As Naruto resumed his run, a subtle tremor rippled through the ground beneath him. Leaves rustled in a pattern that seemed choreographed by an unseen force, and the air itself began to hum with an ethereal melody, a sound not produced by any earthly instrument, but rather by the resonant symphony of converging energies. Naruto, ever attuned to the nuances of his environment through years of training and instinct, slowed his pace, his senses heightened to the mysterious shift. In the distance, above the village's protective walls, the sky began to twist and warp in unnatural ways. Clouds swirled with colors that defied normalcy, a mesmerizing mixture of purples, blues, and streaks of radiant white, like brushstrokes on an abstract canvas. For a fleeting moment, the heavens seemed to tear open, and through this rift, a strange luminescence cascaded down, bathing Konoha in an otherworldly glow. Back in the celestial realm, Beerus, now resolutely aware of the disturbance, set a course for the source. His divine form, wrapped in a regal aura of authority and power, traversed the space between stars with an ease that belied the enormity of the distance. Accompanying him was the ever-composed angelic attendant, observed with a calm curiosity that only centuries of cosmic oversight could afford. Though Whis' words were few, his eyes sparkled with an anticipation for the unknown, knowing that the day's events could herald a significant shift in the universal order. The convergence of these two worlds, the ancient, time-honored realm of the shinobi and the awe-inspiring, often chaotic realm of cosmic deities, was not merely a coincidence. It was as if fate, or perhaps a force even more enigmatic, had chosen this moment to weave their destinies together. The stage was set for a meeting that would challenge the very foundations of both realms, an encounter that promised to redefine the nature of power, balance, and destiny. Naruto found himself near the edge of the forest, at a clearing that he had visited countless times before. The chirping of birds and the rustle of leaves provided a familiar backdrop, yet today there was a palpable tension in the air, a silent prelude to something monumental. As he looked upward, the sky's unusual display captivated him. His blue eyes, wide with wonder, reflected the swirling hues above. There was a strange beauty in the chaos, a beauty that seemed to beckon him closer, to invite him to unravel its mystery. Before Naruto could fully comprehend what was unfolding, the light above him intensified, coalescing into a brilliant orb that descended slowly toward the clearing. The orb pulsed with energy, its glow both inviting and intimidating. In that suspended moment of awe and trepidation, Naruto sensed that this was no ordinary phenomenon. It was as if the cosmos itself had decided to speak directly to him. As the orb neared, a figure emerged from within it, a being with an aura of regal authority and undeniable power. Clad in garments that blended Eastern elegance with an otherworldly mystique, Beerus materialized on the clearing's edge. His feline features, marked by an ever-so-slight smirk, contrasted sharply with the serious nature of his presence. His eyes, deep and knowing, scanned the surroundings, quickly settling on the young ninja standing in awe. "Hey, kid," Beerus began in a tone that was both casual and commanding, his voice carrying the weight of a deity. "I've been looking for you." Naruto's heart pounded in his chest, a mix of excitement and apprehension surging through him. For all his years of training and facing formidable opponents, he had never encountered anything, or anyone, like this. He stepped forward cautiously, his usual exuberance tempered by the gravity of the situation. Who are you?" Naruto asked, his voice betraying both curiosity and a hint of nervousness. Beerus's gaze softened for a moment, as if amused by the sincerity of the young ninja's inquiry. "I am Beerus, the god of destruction," he announced, his words resonating in the silence that had fallen over the clearing. "And I have come because your energy is intriguing." Naruto's eyes widened further. Energy? Intriguing? The words echoed in his mind, stirring memories of every hardship he had faced and every lesson he had learned. In that instant, he felt both humbled and honored that a being of such immense power had taken notice of him. "Intriguing, huh?" Naruto echoed, a slight grin breaking through his initial fear. "I guess I never thought my training would catch the eye of a god of destruction." Beerus tilted his head, his smile widening ever so slightly. "There is more to you than meets the eye, Naruto Uzumaki. Your spirit, your resilience, it resonates with a power that transcends mere physical strength. I have seen many warriors, many shinobi, but you possess something unique. It is not every day that a mortal's energy can catch the attention of one such as myself." At that moment, the world around them seemed to hold its breath. The wind hushed, and even the leaves appeared to pause in midair, as if nature itself was witnessing the birth of an extraordinary alliance. Naruto's mind raced. The tales of gods and deities had always been shrouded in mystery and myth, and now he found himself standing before one. Every instinct told him that this encounter would change everything he thought he knew about power, responsibility, and destiny. "Why are you here?" Naruto finally asked, his voice steady despite the torrent of emotions within him. "What do you want with me?" Beerus's eyes gleamed with a mixture of amusement and seriousness. "I have come to offer you a proposition, a chance to embrace a power that few mortals can fathom. There exists a balance in the universe, a cycle of creation and destruction, and your energy holds the potential to be a bridge between these two forces. I intend to name you as my successor." The words hung in the air like a sacred decree. Naruto's mind reeled as he tried to process the enormity of the statement. Him? A successor to the god of destruction? The notion was as overwhelming as it was impossible to ignore. For a moment, time seemed to stand still, every second stretching into an eternity, as Naruto's thoughts collided with his deepest fears and loftiest dreams. You want me to be your successor?" Naruto managed to stammer, disbelief mingling with a burgeoning sense of destiny. "But I'm just a ninja. I'm not ready for something like that." Beerus's gaze softened, and for a brief moment, the fierce deity appeared almost paternal. "You underestimate the strength that lies within you, Naruto. The life you've led, the battles you've fought, the pain you've endured, has forged you into something extraordinary. I see in you the perfect blend of determination, compassion, and raw potential. It is not about being ready, but about having the resolve to grow into the role destiny has laid before you." As the words sank in, Naruto felt a stirring deep within his chest, a recognition of a truth he had always known but had rarely allowed himself to confront. His journey as a shinobi had been one of constant struggle, Yet it was also one of endless hope. In his heart, he believed that every hardship, every loss, was a stepping stone toward a greater purpose. And now, here before him, stood a being who affirmed that his struggles were not in vain. They were the very essence of the power that would define his future, far beyond the tranquil clearing of Konoha. In the vast expanse of the cosmos, a series of events was unfolding that mirrored the convergence on Earth. Stars flickered in patterns that defied conventional physics, and cosmic winds carried whispers of ancient prophecies. In the halls of Beerus's realm, Whis observed the unfolding events with an air of quiet satisfaction. His voice, gentle and measured, broke the silence between them. "Master Beerus, this is indeed a remarkable occurrence," Whis remarked, his tone laced with curiosity. "The energy emanating from Naruto is unlike anything I have encountered before. It seems his potential could reshape the very fabric of our understanding of creation and destruction." Beerus nodded, his expression thoughtful. "Indeed, Whis. His spirit is a rare blend of resilience and hope. In the endless cycle of destruction and rebirth, it is often the most unlikely of beings who become the harbingers of change. The cosmic scales have tipped in his favor. If he can harness this power and accept his destiny, the balance of our universes may shift in ways we have yet to imagine." The gravity of Beerus's words resonated through the divine chamber, a space where the very essence of existence was pondered and measured. Though Whis maintained his usual calm demeanor, the implications of Naruto's potential began to stir echoes of both excitement and uncertainty. There was a palpable sense that the convergence of these two worlds was not merely a chance meeting, but the beginning of an intricate dance between fate and free will. Back in the clearing, as Beerus's words echoed in Naruto's mind, the young ninja's thoughts began to coalesce into a singular, profound realization. Everything he had ever experienced, the loneliness of his early years, the relentless training, the bonds of friendship and rivalry, had led him to this precise moment. In the silent language of destiny, his life had been preparing him for an encounter that transcended the boundaries of mortal understanding. "Master Beerus," Naruto said slowly, choosing his words with care, "what does it mean to be a god of destruction? Isn't destruction something to be feared? How can someone like me, who's always fought to protect others, embrace such a role?" Beerus's eyes twinkled with a hint of mirth as he regarded Naruto with a mixture of admiration and stern seriousness. "Destruction, Naruto, is not an end in itself. It is a force, a necessary counterbalance to creation. Just as a sculptor must sometimes chip away at the marble to reveal the masterpiece within, so too must the cycle of existence involve moments of dissolution to pave the way for new beginnings. I do not ask you to revel in destruction for its own sake, but to understand that in the grand tapestry of existence, both creation and destruction are essential threads." The concept was profound, and Naruto's mind raced to reconcile this cosmic perspective with his own deeply ingrained ideals. He had always believed that protecting life was the ultimate virtue, a belief that had driven him through countless battles and hardships. Yet here was Beerus, offering a view that saw destruction as a necessary precursor to rebirth, a guardian of the balance that allowed life to flourish anew. Naruto's gaze wandered to the horizon, where the village of Konoha lay nestled against a backdrop of rolling hills and ancient trees. In that serene landscape, he saw the faces of his friends, his mentors, and the countless lives that depended on his strength and resolve. The weight of that responsibility was immense, but so was the spark of hope that had carried him through even the darkest of times. I understand what you're saying," he replied slowly, determination mingling with uncertainty. "But it's hard to accept that sometimes, in order to create something beautiful, something precious, parts of it must be sacrificed." Beerus stepped closer, his presence both comforting and formidable. "That is the eternal challenge, Naruto. It is not about reveling in the act of destruction, but rather about embracing the inevitability of change. If you can master this power, you will not only become a force for balance but also a beacon of hope, a testament to the idea that even in the act of letting go, there is a promise of renewal." The silence that followed was filled with the quiet hum of converging energies, as if the very universe was acknowledging the gravity of the conversation. In that charged atmosphere, Naruto felt a surge of conflicting emotions. Fear of the unknown mingled with a fierce determination to rise to the challenge. His eyes met Beerus's, and in that moment, an unspoken understanding passed between them. Naruto realized that this was not simply an offer of power. It was an invitation to transcend the limits of his own existence, to embrace a destiny that was as daunting as it was exhilarating. In the hours that followed, the clearing became a crucible of ideas and revelations. Naruto and Beerus walked together along a narrow path lined with ancient stones, each step imbued with the significance of the journey ahead. The conversation shifted from abstract concepts of creation and destruction to the tangible realities of power and responsibility. Every great leader, every guardian of balance, must at times make decisions that are painful and difficult. Beerus explained as they strolled beneath towering trees whose leaves glistened with dew. In my realm, I have witnessed the rise and fall of countless worlds, each shaped by the choices of those who wielded power without understanding its true nature. You, Naruto, have already proven your mettle time and again. But now, you must consider whether you have the resolve to carry the burden of a destiny that transcends mortal limitations. Naruto listened intently, his mind racing with memories of past battles, losses, and victories. The faces of those he had fought alongside and the sacrifices they had made flashed before his eyes. In the quiet moments between Beerus's measured words, Naruto felt the immense gravity of his own journey. I've always believed that protecting what I love is worth any sacrifice, he murmured, his voice filled with conviction. But what if the power I gain, what if it changes me? What if I become someone who cannot control it? Beerus stopped and turned to face him directly, his feline features softening with a mix of empathy and unyielding certainty. Power, Naruto, is not an external gift. It is a reflection of the spirit that wields it. If you remain true to yourself, if you keep your heart anchored in the ideals you cherish, then no force, however destructive, can turn you into a monster. The challenge is to harness the duality of your power, to use destruction as a means to foster creation rather than to obliterate what is dear to you. The words resonated deep within Naruto's soul. In the struggles of his past, he had learned that every loss carried within it the seed of new beginnings. The pain of separation, the sting of defeat, all were part of the tapestry that made him who he was. Now, faced with the prospect of wielding a power that could shape entire worlds, he understood that his true strength lay not in the absence of fear, but in his willingness to face it head-on. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, casting long shadows across the clearing, the world seemed to hold its breath in anticipation. Naruto's thoughts turned to the people of Konoha, the friends, mentors, and kindred spirits who had been the pillars of his life. Each face flashed through his mind, their expressions filled with hope and trust, and he knew that any decision he made would ripple across the lives of those he cared about. I've always strived to be someone who brings hope, not despair, Naruto said, his voice steady with newfound resolve. If I'm to accept this destiny, I must do so with the promise that I will protect the balance, both in my world and in the cosmos at large. Beerus smiled, an expression that held both admiration and approval. That is precisely the spirit I was hoping to see, Naruto. The path before you is arduous and fraught with challenges, but it is also filled with the potential for greatness. Today, you have taken the first step toward a destiny that will reshape not only your life but the fate of countless worlds. In that moment, as the clearing bore witness to the convergence of two extraordinary destinies, the air shimmered with a sense of possibility. The ancient trees, the softly murmuring wind, and even the distant birds seemed to acknowledge the birth of a new era, one where the boundaries between mortal ambition and divine responsibility would blur, and the timeless dance of creation and destruction would find a new conductor in the unlikeliest of heroes. As the meeting drew to a close, Beerus gestured toward the horizon where Konoha lay bathed in the soft glow of midday light. Return to your village, Naruto, he instructed gently. Let the people you love feel the warmth of your spirit. But remember, the journey ahead will be filled with trials that will test every fiber of your being. When the time comes, you must be ready to embrace the power within you. Naruto nodded, his mind swirling with thoughts of his future. I understand, he replied, his voice firm yet laced with the uncertainty of the unknown. I'll do whatever it takes to protect Konoha and everyone I care about. Beerus's gaze softened once more, and for a fleeting moment, the god of destruction appeared almost wistful. Good. For now, live your life as you always have, cherishing every moment. But know that destiny is a relentless force. It waits for no one. In time, you will be called upon to take the mantle that I now offer you." With those final words, Beerus turned and, in a cascade of shimmering light, began to fade from the clearing, leaving behind only the lingering hum of cosmic energy and a profound sense of destiny. Naruto stood rooted in place for several long moments, absorbing the magnitude of what had just transpired. The clearing, once an ordinary part of his familiar world, had transformed into a sacred ground where the threads of fate had been irrevocably woven together. The gentle chirping of birds and the rustling of leaves slowly resumed, as if to reassure him that life in Konoha would continue. Yet deep within him, an undeniable spark had been ignited, a spark that promised change, growth, and the emergence of a power that spanned the cosmos. Later that day, as twilight descended upon Konoha and the village prepared for the evening's calm, Naruto found himself alone atop a hill overlooking his home. The view was breathtaking. The village, with its clustered rooftops and gently lit pathways, looked like a constellation of hope against the encroaching darkness. In the soft glow of dusk, Naruto's thoughts drifted back to the encounter with Beerus, the enigmatic deity who had offered him a destiny beyond anything he had ever imagined. Sitting on the edge of the hill, Naruto closed his eyes and allowed the cool night air to wash over him. He recalled the surreal beauty of the cosmic rift, the mesmerizing play of light and color in the sky, and the profound gravity of Beerus's words. Questions and doubts mingled with a newfound determination. How could he, a mere mortal ninja, ever hope to wield a power that governed the balance of creation and destruction? And yet, as he reflected on every trial he had overcome, he recognized that the very essence of his journey was rooted in the willingness to face the impossible. In the quiet solitude of that twilight hour, Naruto made a silent promise to himself. He vowed that, no matter how daunting the path ahead might be, he would embrace every challenge with the same relentless spirit that had carried him this far. The weight of destiny was great, but so too was the fire that burned within him, a fire fueled by hope, courage, and the unyielding determination to protect those he loved. As stars began to emerge in the velvet sky, each one a tiny beacon of light amidst the vast darkness, Naruto felt a deep connection to the cosmos. He realized that the universe, in all its infinite mystery, had chosen him not for his power alone but for the purity of his heart. The convergence of worlds was not an arbitrary collision of forces. It was a carefully orchestrated dance, a merging of fate and free will that had set him on a path toward greatness. With a deep, steadying breath, Naruto whispered into the night, "I will do my best. I won't let this chance go to waste." The words, soft yet resolute, carried on the wind, merging with the ancient energies that crisscrossed the heavens. In that moment, under the watchful gaze of countless stars, Naruto embraced the first steps of a journey that would challenge everything he had ever known. The events of that day marked a turning point not only for Naruto, but for the entire Hidden Leaf village. In the days to come, whispers of a strange occurrence began to circulate among the villagers. Some claimed to have seen unusual lights in the sky, while others spoke of a calm that had descended upon the village, as if the very air had been charged with unseen power. Elder shinobi exchanged knowing glances, and rumors of divine intervention spread like wildfire. Yet, amidst the chatter, only a few truly understood the profound implications of what had transpired. For Naruto, every heartbeat was now infused with a sense of destiny. Every training session, every mission, and every quiet moment of reflection was tinged with the possibility that he was meant for something far greater than he had ever imagined. The convergence of worlds was not a one-time event. It was the spark that would ignite a journey spanning realms and redefining the boundaries of power and compassion. As night deepened, Naruto made his way back to the village, his steps measured and his mind racing with the infinite possibilities of his future. The faces of his friends and comrades greeted him with warmth, yet in their eyes he sensed a subtle shift, a recognition that something extraordinary was unfolding. Even as he smiled and joked with those around him, the conversation in his mind was dominated by the echoes of Beerus's words and the luminous promise of a destiny that defied convention. In the quiet corridors of the Hokage's office, Naruto paused to look at the portraits of past leaders, each a testament to the enduring spirit of Konoha. He wondered if any of them had ever dreamed of a day when a ninja from their humble beginnings would be called upon to wield the power of a god of destruction. That thought filled him with both pride and a solemn awareness of the responsibilities that lay ahead. Standing there, With the weight of destiny pressing gently upon him, Naruto vowed once more to honor the trust placed in him, not just by Beerus, but by every soul that believed in the promise of a better tomorrow. He understood that the convergence of worlds was a call to rise above personal limitations, to embrace a power that was as much about nurturing creation as it was about managing the inevitable forces of destruction. As the night wore on and the village of Konoha settled into a peaceful slumber, a new chapter had already begun for Naruto Uzumaki. The encounter with Beerus had been both a revelation and a challenge, a call to transcend the ordinary and step into a realm where every choice, every sacrifice, and every victory would shape the course of destiny itself. In the hush of that starry night, beneath the silent gaze of a universe that had just revealed a fragment of its secret, Naruto closed his eyes with a resolute heart. He knew that tomorrow would bring new trials and uncertainties, but it would also be a day where the convergence of two worlds had planted the seed of a future that promised both incredible power and the enduring light of hope. And so, as the gentle night embraced the Hidden Leaf village, a new destiny began to unfurl. A destiny where a young ninja, forged by hardship and defined by an unbreakable spirit, would soon rise to bridge the divide between mortal perseverance and divine purpose. The convergence of worlds was only the beginning, and the journey ahead would test the very limits of what it meant to be a hero in a universe where creation and destruction danced in an eternal embrace. The days following Naruto's fateful encounter with Beerus in the clearing were filled with a quiet intensity that belied the ordinary pace of life in the Hidden Leaf village. Yet beneath the calm veneer of daily routines, an undercurrent of anticipation stirred, a sense that destiny was orchestrating events far beyond the villagers' comprehension. For Naruto, that morning's meeting with the god of destruction had left an indelible mark on his soul, a promise of transformation and challenge that could not be ignored. Today, that promise would begin to take shape in a test designed to probe the very essence of his spirit and strength. As dawn broke over Konoha, the sky was a tapestry of soft pastels and gentle light. The village stirred into life with its customary energy, but Naruto's mind remained distant, caught between the memory of Beerus's enigmatic words and the uncertainty of what lay ahead. His thoughts were interrupted by a sudden, inexplicable sensation, a pull at the core of his being, as if an unseen force beckoned him away from the familiar. Before he could fully process the feeling, a shimmering portal of luminescent energy materialized in the clearing behind his modest home. Intrigued and cautious, Naruto approached the portal. Its surface rippled like the surface of a tranquil lake disturbed by a whispering breeze. He could sense that this was no ordinary jutsu or trap concocted by a rival. It radiated a divine energy far beyond anything encountered in the ninja world. Taking a deep breath, Naruto stepped forward, and in an instant, he was enveloped by a dazzling light that transported him to a realm where the laws of nature seemed to be rewritten. Naruto's eyes snapped open to reveal a landscape unlike any he had ever seen. He stood upon a vast plateau of crystalline stone, suspended in an endless void of swirling colors. The sky above was not the familiar blue of his world, but a shifting mosaic of vibrant hues, emerald greens melting into deep indigos, fiery oranges blending with cool, serene purples. The horizon stretched into infinity, and the very air pulsed with an almost tangible energy, as if the realm itself were alive with ancient power. A voice, soft yet commanding, echoed around him. Naruto Uzumaki. It intoned, the cadence of its words resonating deep within his soul. Welcome to the trial realm. Here, you shall face the test of spirit and strength, a challenge designed to reveal the true nature of your potential. Naruto's heart pounded in his chest. The surreal beauty of the surroundings was matched only by the gravity of the task at hand. He knew that this was the next step on the path that Beerus had set before him. A path that would require not only physical prowess, but a deep introspection into his very essence. Before he could question the mysterious voice further, a figure materialized on a raised dais at the far end of the plateau. It was Whis, the ever-composed attendant of Beerus, his serene smile belying the seriousness of the situation. With a graceful motion, Whis beckoned Naruto forward. Step forth, Naruto, Whis said, his voice gentle yet imbued with a hint of urgency. The trial that awaits you is as much a journey within as it is a test of your strength in battle. You must confront the shadows of doubt, the echoes of pain and loss, and the fear that lingers in the deepest recesses of your heart. Only by overcoming these trials can you truly harness the power that lies dormant within you. Naruto's feet carried him toward the dais, his mind racing with questions and emotions. The moment he reached it, the crystalline ground beneath him began to tremble, and the serene landscape shifted. The swirling colors of the sky deepened, and an immense energy coalesced around him, forming a vast, circular arena. The structure pulsed with an otherworldly glow, and inscriptions in an ancient, indecipherable script shimmered along its perimeter. As Naruto stepped into the arena, he felt an invisible force draw him inward. Suddenly, the environment around him dissolved, replaced by a series of vivid, almost tangible visions that unfolded like a tapestry of his past. He found himself no longer on the crystalline plateau, but standing in the midst of a chaotic battlefield. A scene from his childhood marked by hardship and isolation. Shadows of forgotten memories emerged from the depths of his mind. The loneliness of his early years, the bitter sting of rejection, and the relentless mockery that had once haunted him. In this illusory realm, Naruto was confronted by spectral figures, manifestations of his deepest fears and regrets. There was the taunting laughter of those who had scorned him, the piercing cries of a young boy burdened by ostracism, and the cold, unyielding presence of loss that clung to every memory. Each spectral figure seemed intent on sapping his resolve, whispering doubts about his worth and his ability to bear the burden of destiny. For a long, agonizing moment, Naruto's mind reeled under the weight of these memories. The pain was almost unbearable, each flashback a wound reopening, a reminder of every failure and every moment of despair. He could almost feel the crushing loneliness of his childhood once more, the bitter taste of isolation that had shaped him into the man he had become. But as the memories threatened to overwhelm him, Naruto's inner voice, steadfast and resilient, spoke up. "I am not defined by my past," he murmured, his voice trembling with both sorrow and determination. "Every scar, every loss, has forged my strength. I will not allow these shadows to dictate my future." With each word, a surge of chakra coursed through him, igniting the flame of his indomitable will. The spectral figures recoiled, their hold on his mind loosening as his inner strength began to shine through the darkness. The arena responded to his resolve. The oppressive atmosphere began to dissipate, replaced by a sense of clarity and purpose. The haunting images of his past were transformed into lessons of endurance, a testament to his journey of growth and self-discovery. In that moment of triumph, Naruto realized that the trial was not merely about physical combat, but about confronting and accepting the totality of his experiences, both the light and the dark. His heart swelled with the knowledge that each hardship had imbued him with a power that could overcome any obstacle. The memories, once sources of torment, were now stepping stones toward a brighter future. No sooner had the echoes of the past faded than the arena shifted once again, morphing into a vast, open field where the elements themselves seemed to dance in a wild, unrestrained rhythm. The sky overhead roared with the tumult of a storm. Lightning crackled, winds howled, and torrents of rain cascaded from the heavens. It was a landscape defined by raw, unbridled energy, a manifestation of nature's most primal forces. At the center of the field, a swirling vortex of elemental power materialized. From within it emerged titanic constructs of water, earth, wind, and fire, embodiments of nature's fury that took on humanoid forms. Their eyes burned with an intensity that spoke of ancient, untamed forces. They advanced toward Naruto in unison, their every movement a testament to the raw, relentless power of the natural world. Naruto's breath caught in his throat as he faced these elemental guardians. This challenge was unlike any he had faced before. It was not simply a test of his physical strength, but a trial that demanded he merge his inherent ninja abilities with an understanding of the world's deeper energies. The elemental beings moved as one, a fluid yet formidable force determined to push him to his limits. Drawing upon the lessons of his previous battles, Naruto summoned his chakra, focusing it into the familiar, swirling vortex of the Rasengan. The energy ball pulsed in his palm, a beacon of his will to overcome. But as the first elemental guardian, a towering figure of fire, lunged toward him, Naruto realized that brute force alone would not suffice. The flames of the guardian were wild and unpredictable, threatening to consume him if he did not find a way to harmonize his own energy with the elemental blaze. In the midst of the onslaught, Naruto closed his eyes for a brief moment, and reach deep within himself. He recalled the teachings of his mentors, the discipline of his training, and the unyielding spirit that had carried him through every trial. Slowly, he began to attune his chakra to the rhythm of the storm, merging his own inner energy with the elemental fury that surrounded him. As he did, his Rasengan transformed. It became a swirling fusion of his own chakra and the raw, untamed energy of the elements, its glow now a mesmerizing blend of blue and fiery orange. With renewed vigor, Naruto advanced, weaving between the elemental guardians with an agility honed by years of training and relentless determination. His movements were a dance, fluid, graceful, and in perfect harmony with the storm. He countered the guardians' fierce strikes with deft maneuvers, deflecting torrents of fire with his newly enhanced Rasengan, while simultaneously redirecting the force of the wind and water to his advantage. The elemental guardians, sensing the shift in balance, increased the intensity of their attacks. The battlefield became a chaotic symphony of clashing energies, where every burst of flame was met by a surge of wind, and every cascade of water was answered with a quake of earth. Yet, amid the chaos, Naruto's resolve never wavered. He moved as if guided by an inner rhythm, a dance of survival and mastery that transcended mere combat. In a breathtaking display of skill and determination, Naruto managed to harness the power of each element, blending them seamlessly with his own techniques. As he delivered a decisive blow against the Guardian of Fire, he felt a deep connection with the natural world, a realization that his strength was not merely derived from his own spirit, but also from his ability to harmonize with the forces that shaped the universe. In that moment, the storm seemed to acknowledge him, the elements swirling in respectful tribute to his indomitable will. When the last of the elemental guardians finally crumbled into shimmering motes of energy, the field fell silent. The storm subsided, and a profound calm settled over the arena. Naruto stood alone amid the remnants of raw elemental power, his chest heaving with exertion and his eyes alight with a mixture of exhaustion and triumph. The dance of the elements had not only tested his physical prowess but had also challenged him to understand and integrate the dynamic energies that pulsed at the core of existence. Barely had Naruto's heart recovered from the tempest of the elemental trial when the arena shifted yet again. The chaotic battlefield dissolved into a realm of infinite reflection, a vast expanse of smooth, reflective surfaces that stretched out in every direction. In this realm, every movement, every thought, and every flicker of emotion was mirrored back at him in a cascade of images. Naruto found himself surrounded by countless versions of his own reflection, each one displaying a different facet of his personality. There was the resolute, determined hero he had become through years of struggle and sacrifice. But there were also reflections that revealed his moments of anger, doubt, and even the vulnerability he seldom allowed himself to acknowledge. Each mirror-like surface shimmered with a silent intensity, drawing him into a confrontation with himself that was as intimate as it was disconcerting. The air in this reflective realm was thick with the weight of introspection. It was as if the very space around him were urging him to examine the myriad layers of his soul, to confront not only the strengths that had carried him through every battle but also the fears and weaknesses that lurked in the shadows of his heart. As Naruto advanced, a deep, resonant voice echoed through the void. To master the power within, you must first know yourself completely. The voice intoned, each word reverberating like a clarion call. Embrace every aspect of your being, the light and the dark, the strength and the frailty. Only then can you truly achieve the balance necessary to wield the power of creation and destruction. The challenge was clear. Naruto had to confront the many faces of his inner self and come to terms with every emotion, every scar, every hidden fear. One by one, the reflections began to shift and change, morphing into vivid representations of his past battles, his personal losses, and his unspoken regrets. He saw the image of his mentor Iruka, the warmth of his friendship with Sasuke and Sakura, and the countless moments of sacrifice that had defined his journey. Alongside these images, darker reflections emerged, visions of his deepest insecurities and the voices of doubt that had once threatened to cripple his spirit. For what felt like an eternity, Naruto stood before this endless array of self-reflections, each one challenging him to accept the totality of his being. He fought an internal battle, one that pitted the force of his unyielding determination against the nagging whispers of self-doubt. The struggle was fierce and intimate, a silent duel where every heartbeat echoed the rhythm of his inner turmoil. Slowly, With each confrontation, Naruto began to understand that true strength was born not from the denial of one's weaknesses, but from their acceptance and integration into the whole self. He recalled the painful memories of rejection and isolation, and he saw how those experiences had shaped the courage and compassion that defined him. With each revelation, the reflections softened, their once harsh images blending into a harmonious mosaic of his past, present, and the promise of his future. Drawing upon this newfound clarity, Naruto closed his eyes and centered himself. In a moment of profound introspection, he embraced the entirety of his being, the hero forged by struggle, the friend whose heart overflowed with loyalty, and even the boy who had once been overwhelmed by loneliness. A serene smile crossed his face as he acknowledged that every aspect of himself, both the light and the dark, was indispensable to the person he had become. As he opened his eyes, the countless reflections coalesced into one singular, radiant image, a symbol of his acceptance and balance. In that instant, the reflective realm shimmered with an aura of calm, the chaotic multiplicity of self merging into a unified whole. Naruto felt a deep, resounding truth settle within him. To wield the power of a god of destruction, he would need to harness not just physical strength, but also the profound balance of his inner spirit. No sooner had the reflective realm faded than the arena transformed one last time. Naruto now found himself standing on a vast, ethereal plain beneath a star-strewn sky that stretched into infinity. At the center of this boundless expanse stood a solitary figure, a being composed entirely of shimmering cosmic energy. Its form was fluid, shifting between tangible solidity and ephemeral light, and its eyes glowed with the ancient wisdom of the universe. This was the final test, a duel not merely of physical strength or inner resolve, but of cosmic balance. The being, which Naruto sensed was a manifestation of the cosmic order itself, radiated an aura that was both awe-inspiring and intimidating. Its presence was a challenge to every fiber of Naruto's being, a reminder that the journey toward true mastery required one to face the embodiment of creation and destruction in their purest forms. Without a word, the cosmic being advanced. Naruto instinctively took a defensive stance, his body tensing with anticipation. The air vibrated with an energy so potent that it seemed to set his very soul alight. In that charged silence, the duel began. The cosmic being moved with an elegance that defied conventional movement. Each step, each gesture resonated with the rhythms of the cosmos. It launched a series of energy attacks that rippled through the void like ripples on a celestial pond. Naruto responded in kind, drawing upon everything he had learned in the trials preceding this moment. He summoned his chakra, now honed by the acceptance of his past, the mastery of the elements, and the balance of his inner self, channeling it into every strike and parry. The battle was a breathtaking symphony of speed, power, and will. Every clash of energy echoed like the beating of the universe's heart. Naruto found himself pushed to the limits of his endurance, forced to innovate and adapt in real time. He combined his signature techniques with the newly forged integration of elemental energy and cosmic balance. The Rasengan, now imbued with the combined forces of fire, wind, water, and the subtle hum of the cosmic energy, glowed with an intensity that rivaled the stars themselves. As the duel progressed, it became clear that this was not merely a test of brute strength, but of the deeper understanding of what it meant to be a force of both creation and destruction. The cosmic being probed Naruto's defenses, testing the limits of his resolve with attacks that forced him to confront his every doubt and fear. Each time Naruto was struck by an onslaught of energy, he felt a momentary lapse, a whisper of insecurity that threatened to undo the hard-won balance within him. But drawing on the lessons of his journey, he fought back, his spirit unyielding as he channeled the full force of his will. In a climactic moment that seemed to stretch into eternity, Naruto found himself locked in a duel with the cosmic manifestation, both combatants moving in perfect synchrony as if they were two halves of the same celestial entity. With a deep, resonant shout that echoed across the endless plain, Naruto unleashed a final, combined attack. A maelstrom of chakra and elemental energy interwoven with the cosmic force that now flowed freely within him. The resulting explosion of light and sound was both terrifying and sublime, a brilliant display of raw power tempered by inner balance. When the dazzling radiance finally subsided, Naruto stood, panting and exhausted, yet filled with an overwhelming sense of clarity and accomplishment. The cosmic being bowed its head in silent acknowledgement, and for a few precious moments, the two remained in a shared silence, a mutual recognition of the journey they had both undertaken. In that quiet interlude, Naruto understood that this duel had not been about defeating an external foe, but about reconciling the various forces that defined him. He had faced the ultimate test of spirit and strength, emerging not as a mere fighter, but as a unified force capable of both creation and necessary destruction. As the ethereal plane slowly dissolved back into the crystalline plateau of the trial realm, Naruto found himself standing alone under the ever-shifting sky. His body bore the marks of the fierce battles he had just endured, bruises and fatigue etched across his skin. But his eyes shone with a luminous clarity that spoke of inner transformation. Every trial, the arena of memories, the dance of the elements, the mirror of the soul, and the cosmic duel, had left its mark on him, each test chipping away at the layers of self-doubt and forging a deeper understanding of his own potential. In the silence that followed, Naruto allowed himself to reflect on the profound lessons the trials had imparted. He recalled the early moments of despair in the arena of memories, when the specters of his past threatened to shatter his resolve. Yet, it was precisely in that moment of vulnerability that he discovered the true strength of his spirit, a strength born from the acceptance of every scar, every pain, and every fleeting moment of weakness. This acceptance was not a surrender to his darker memories, but rather a reclamation of his identity, as a warrior shaped by every trial he had ever faced. The elemental challenge had taught him that his strength was not isolated from the world around him. By attuning himself to the raw energies of nature, he learned that he could harness forces beyond his own limits, blending his own spirit with the fundamental elements of existence. And in the mirror of the soul, he confronted the myriad aspects of his inner self, coming to embrace the entirety of who he was, flaws, doubts, and all. Finally, the cosmic duel had pushed him to the brink, forcing him to draw upon every lesson learned to emerge victorious. Standing amidst the ruins of that final battle, Naruto felt an undeniable connection to the universe, a bond that transcended the physical and touched the very essence of creation and destruction. With the conclusion of the trials, the luminescent portal reappeared before Naruto, its gentle glow beckoning him to return to his own world. As he stepped through, the surreal landscapes of the trial realm faded away, replaced by the familiar sights and sounds of the Hidden Leaf village. Yet, something had irrevocably changed within him. Every step he took was now imbued with the quiet confidence of one who had faced the darkness within and emerged as a more complete being. As Naruto walked through the village, he noticed subtle shifts in the world around him. The villagers moved with an unspoken awareness, as if they sensed that something profound had occurred. Though none could fully comprehend the magnitude of the trials he had undergone, there was a shared understanding in the air, a silent acknowledgement that Naruto was no longer just the enthusiastic ninja everyone had known, but someone on the verge of assuming a destiny that reached far beyond the confines of their small world. Later that evening, as dusk painted the sky in soft hues of lavender and gold, Naruto found a quiet spot near the village training grounds. He sat on a fallen log, his thoughts drifting back to the challenges he had faced, the faces of his spectral memories, the roaring storm of elemental fury, the endless mirrors of his soul, and the enigmatic cosmic duel all danced before his eyes like a vivid dream. Each trial had left him with a deeper understanding that strength was not measured solely by physical might, but by the courage to confront one's inner demons and the wisdom to harness the energy of the universe. In that reflective solitude, Naruto made a silent vow to himself. He promised that no matter how daunting the future might be, he would carry the lessons of these trials with him, using them to guide his every action. He understood now that the path ahead was fraught with challenges that would test not only his abilities as a ninja but also his capacity to balance the forces of creation and destruction. Yet, armed with the strength of his spirit and the clarity of his newfound insight, he was ready to face whatever destiny had in store. As night deepened over Konoha and the village settled into a peaceful slumber, Naruto remained awake, his eyes fixed on the starry expanse overhead. The constellations twinkled like distant beacons, each one a silent testament to the vast, mysterious universe of which he was now an inseparable part. In that quiet, contemplative moment, he understood that the trials he had just endured were only the beginning of a much larger journey, A journey that would lead him to master not only the art of ninja combat, but also the cosmic balance between creation and destruction. Naruto's heart was filled with a resolute determination, a fierce commitment to honor the gift of transformation bestowed upon him by Beerus. The trials had stripped away the vestiges of doubt and revealed the core of his being, a spirit unyielding in its pursuit of hope, balance, and growth. With this new understanding, he was ready to embrace the destiny that awaited him, even if it meant walking a path that blurred the lines between mortal limits and divine potential. In the silence of the night, as the cool air whispered through the trees of Konoha, Naruto closed his eyes and let his mind wander through the lessons of the day. Each memory, each challenge, was now a part of him, a testament to the evolution of his spirit. The test of spirit and strength had not been a mere obstacle to overcome, but a transformative journey that had revealed the boundless reservoir of power within him. It was a reminder that every hardship, every trial, was a stepping stone to something greater, a future where the light of hope shone even in the darkest of times. With the promise of a new dawn glimmering on the horizon, Naruto rose to his feet, his gaze fixed on the vast, star-filled sky. He knew that the challenges ahead would be even more formidable, that the responsibilities of the destiny set before him were immense. Yet, with the strength of his spirit refined by the trials of the day, he was ready to face the future with unwavering determination. The test of spirit and strength had been a crucible, a place where the fires of his inner resolve had been forged into an unbreakable bond between his past, present, and the endless potential of his future. And as Naruto took his first confident steps back into the life of a ninja, every fiber of his being radiated with the promise of what was to come, a destiny that would forever intertwine the fate of the Hidden Leaf Village with the cosmic forces that shaped the universe. In the quiet hours before the first light of a new day, Naruto's journey had taken a transformative leap. The trials he had endured were now etched into his soul as lessons of endurance, balance, and the unyielding power of hope. With a heart full of determination and eyes set on the horizon of an uncertain future, he embraced the knowledge that his destiny was not a burden, but a profound opportunity, a chance to redefine what it meant to be a hero, a guardian, and a force of both creation and necessary destruction. Thus, as the stars began to fade with the coming dawn, Naruto Uzumaki stepped forward into a future where every challenge, every trial, would only serve to illuminate the true extent of his strength. His spirit, now tempered by the fires of his trials, shone with a brilliance that promised to bridge the gap between the mortal and the divine, a beacon of hope in a universe where the dance of creation and destruction was eternal. The very fabric of reality seemed to shimmer in anticipation as Naruto Uzumaki stepped into a new phase of his destiny, a phase that promised not only to test his physical limits but to push the boundaries of his spirit, his chakra, and his connection with the cosmos itself. In the wake of the trials that had challenged his memories, elemental forces, and inner self, a fresh horizon beckoned him, the mastery of a power that blended the ancient energies of his ninja heritage with a celestial, cosmic force. This was the moment when Naruto would begin to unleash the cosmic chakra. The training grounds had transformed once again. No longer were they the familiar fields of Konoha or the crystalline plateau of the trial realm. Instead, Naruto now found himself on an immense platform that stretched into a surreal expanse of space and time. Here, the boundaries of the physical world blurred into the abstract, a realm where vibrant ribbons of light danced across a star-speckled sky and nebulae swirled like ethereal mists. This celestial arena was unlike anything Naruto had ever experienced. The ground beneath his feet was composed of interlocking fragments of shimmering crystal, each piece resonating with a unique frequency of energy. Above him, constellations and cosmic storms coexisted in an ever-changing panorama of luminous hues, as if the universe itself was putting on a grand spectacle of its infinite potential. It was here, in this intersection of worlds, that Beerus had chosen to guide him toward the next step of his journey. As Naruto looked around in wonder, he recalled the deity's words from their first encounter. Beerus had spoken of balance, a delicate equilibrium between creation and destruction, between light and shadow. Now, that balance was about to be redefined. The cosmic energy that permeated this realm was not simply a force to be feared or contained. It was a power to be harnessed, integrated into one's very being, and ultimately transformed into something greater than the sum of its parts. Before Naruto could absorb the full enormity of his surroundings, A gentle, yet commanding voice echoed through the celestial expanse. It was Whis, who had long served as Beerus's enigmatic mentor and guide. His voice, as mellifluous as it was profound, resonated in every corner of the arena. Naruto, Whis intoned, his tone both inviting and measured. Today, you will begin the process of awakening the cosmic chakra within you. This is a power that transcends the physical, an energy that flows not only through your body but also through the very cosmos. To master it, you must learn to attune your inner chakra to the vibrations of the universe itself. Naruto's eyes narrowed in determination as he straightened his posture. He had faced countless challenges before, ranging from the bitter loneliness of his childhood to the overwhelming onslaught of cosmic trials. Yet, in this moment, he felt an unprecedented surge of resolve. I understand, he said, his voice steady despite the enormity of what lay ahead. I'm ready to learn. Whis' serene smile deepened, and he stepped forward. Very well. Begin by closing your eyes and attuning yourself to the ambient energy of this realm. Feel the cosmic currents that flow all around you, the delicate hum of distant galaxies, the rhythmic pulse of stellar winds. Let them merge with the chakra that burns within your soul. Naruto found a smooth, elevated stone that jutted out from the crystalline ground. Sitting cross-legged, he closed his eyes and took a deep breath, seeking to silence the ever-chattering mind that had been forged by years of training and hardship. In the silence that followed, he could almost hear the heartbeat of the universe, a low, steady rhythm that pulsed like the echo of a distant drum. At first, the cosmic energies were foreign, their vibrations unfamiliar and overwhelming. But as minutes turned to what felt like hours in the timeless realm, Naruto began to perceive subtle patterns within the cosmic noise. The distant twinkling of starlight, the swirling cadence of nebulae, and even the soft, almost imperceptible murmur of creation and decay, all merged into a symphony of energy that resonated deep within him. In that meditative state, memories of his past battles, the pain of loss, and the triumphs that had defined him surfaced like fleeting images. Each memory, each fragment of emotion, was imbued with its own chakra. But now, these familiar energies began to intermingle with something entirely new, the cosmic chakra. It was as if the universe was speaking directly to him, inviting him to unlock a deeper well of potential. Naruto's inner voice, the one that had persevered through every hardship, whispered with quiet certainty. This is not just power. It's a part of me, a bridge between who I was and who I can become. With each slow, deliberate breath, he allowed the cosmic vibrations to fuse with his chakra, feeling an electrifying warmth radiate through every cell of his body. He sensed the difference immediately. This was not the familiar energy of nature or the fierce vitality of the Nine Tails. It was something far more profound, a cosmic force that transcended the mere physical realm. When he finally opened his eyes, the world around him seemed to shimmer with an inner luminescence. Tiny flecks of light drifted like motes in the air, each one a fragment of cosmic energy that now pulsed in harmony with his own chakra. Naruto felt lighter, more connected to everything around him, as if he were a single note in the grand melody of the cosmos. Whis observed Naruto's progress with keen interest. Excellent, he remarked, his tone warm with encouragement. You have begun to sense the cosmic chakra. But true mastery requires more than passive awareness. You must learn to control and direct this energy. Let us now proceed to the trial of the cosmic flow. With a graceful gesture, Whis summoned a vast sphere of light that hovered before Naruto. Inside the sphere, vibrant streams of energy writhed and danced in intricate patterns, a visual representation of the cosmic forces at play. This sphere, Whis explained, represents the raw, unchanneled energy of the cosmos. Your task is to reach out with your mind and your chakra, to merge with this energy, and to shape it into something tangible. Naruto's heart raced with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. He extended his hands, palms open and facing the sphere, and closed his eyes once again. Focusing on the rhythmic pulse of his own heartbeat, he allowed his chakra to extend outward like tendrils, seeking the vibrant energy that swirled within the sphere. At first, the sphere's energy seemed elusive, a dazzling dance of colors and light that resisted his attempts to grasp it. But as Naruto steadied his breath and centered his mind, he began to discern a subtle resonance between his inner power and the cosmic energy. The boundaries between his own chakra and the sphere's luminous currents started to blur. Slowly, with deliberate intent, he reached out and let his chakra mingle with the swirling cosmic force. A surge of energy burst forth as the two forces merged, a breathtaking explosion of light that enveloped Naruto in its radiance. For a moment, he felt as though he were weightless, suspended in a sea of endless possibility. The sensation was both exhilarating and humbling, a reminder of the vast potential that lay dormant within him, waiting to be unleashed. "Feel the flow." Whisa's voice guided him, gentle yet insistent. "Do not try to control it outright. Instead, allow your spirit to merge with the cosmic current. Trust in your instincts, and let the energy guide your movements." Naruto followed the advice, closing his eyes and surrendering to the cosmic flow. Gradually, he learned to sense the subtle shifts in energy. The way the cosmic chakra ebbed and flowed like a living river, its currents shifting in response to his own emotional state and inner will. He began to experiment, using small bursts of focused energy to shape the swirling light into familiar forms. First, it was a simple orb, a miniature version of his Rasengan, but now infused with a dazzling spectrum of cosmic hues. Then, he formed more intricate patterns, creating arcs of energy that danced around him in mesmerizing loops. Each movement, each experiment, was accompanied by a symphony of inner revelations. Naruto's mind raced with the implications of this new power. He could now channel energy on a scale that transcended mortal limits, blending his innate chakra with the cosmic forces that governed the universe. In that moment, he realized that the cosmic chakra was not simply an external force to be harnessed. It was a part of him, a latent potential that had been waiting for the right moment to awaken. The journey to master the cosmic chakra was not one that could be achieved in a single moment. It demanded practice, patience, and an unwavering belief in one's own potential. Over the course of the next several days, Naruto dedicated himself entirely to his training in the celestial arena. Under the watchful eyes of Beerus and Whis, he experimented with merging his traditional techniques with this new cosmic energy, striving to create something entirely unprecedented. In one particularly grueling session, Naruto stood before a massive, ancient stone monument that glowed faintly with runic symbols. Beerus had explained that this monument was imbued with the residual energy of countless cosmic cycles, a relic of an age when creation and destruction were in perfect harmony. It was here that Naruto would attempt to integrate his signature Rasengan with the cosmic chakra. Concentrating deeply, he visualized the familiar swirling sphere of his Rasengan, but this time, he allowed the cosmic energy to seep into every fiber of the technique. As he summoned his chakra, he felt the inherent warmth of the Nine Tails' power intermingling with the cool, enigmatic energy of the cosmos. The result was nothing short of miraculous. The Rasengan pulsed with a radiant spectrum of colors, its core now a mesmerizing blend of deep blue, radiant violet, and incandescent gold. Naruto's eyes sparkled with newfound confidence as he hurled the cosmic-infused Rasengan at an imposing training dummy carved from the same ancient stone. The impact was cataclysmic, an explosion of light and energy that rippled through the air, sending shockwaves that resonated across the training ground. For a brief moment, it was as if the very laws of nature had been rewritten. The cosmic forces and his innate chakra coalesced into a singular, formidable power that defied conventional limits. Beerus, who had been observing with a blend of amusement and approval, nodded. "Well done, Naruto. You have taken the first steps toward merging your inherent ninja abilities with the cosmic energies that define the universe. But remember, mastery over the cosmic chakra is not solely about raw power. It is about balance, control, and understanding the interplay between light and darkness." Taking Beerus's words to heart, Naruto began to explore the subtleties of this new energy. Late into the celestial night, he would practice meditative techniques to refine his connection with the cosmic chakra. Sitting by a small, tranquil pool of liquid light, a natural formation in this strange realm, he would close his eyes and listen to the whisper of the cosmos. In these moments of quiet introspection, he felt as though he could hear the collective memories of the stars, the silent wisdom of ancient galaxies, and the eternal cycle of creation and decay. He experimented with shaping the cosmic energy into defensive barriers, ephemeral constructs, and even intricate symbols that glowed with the promise of hidden power. Each experiment was a step toward understanding not just how to control the energy, but how to harmonize it with his own spirit. The cosmic energy, once wild and unpredictable, began to bend to his will, albeit with the caveat that true control required continuous balance between exertion and surrender. During one session, as Naruto attempted a particularly advanced maneuver, his cosmic chakra began to fluctuate erratically. The swirling colors in his Rasengan deepened into a storm of uncontrollable energy, threatening to overwhelm his senses. Panic surged within him as he struggled to rein in the torrent. It was then that he remembered the countless lessons of his past. Each failure, each hardship had taught him the importance of perseverance and self-belief. With a deep, steadying breath, Naruto slowed his movements. "I can do this," he murmured to himself, focusing not on the raw power but on the underlying flow that connected every spark of energy to the vast tapestry of the cosmos. Gradually, he brought his chakra under control, channeling the tumultuous energy into a refined, stable form. The Rasengan stabilized into a sphere that shimmered with serene, cosmic light, a testament to the fact that even the wildest force could be tempered with discipline and clarity. As the days turned into nights and back into days, Naruto's journey toward cosmic mastery took on a rhythm of its own. Each session in the celestial arena built upon the last, forging his abilities into something both formidable and uniquely his own. One particularly transformative moment came when, during a solitary training session under the luminous glow of a nebula that draped the horizon in hues of magenta and teal, Naruto experienced a breakthrough that would forever alter his understanding of chakra. In the midst of his meditative practice, he felt a surge of energy that was more potent than any he had encountered before, a crescendo in the cosmic symphony that vibrated through his very soul. In that fleeting moment, the boundaries between his inner chakra and the cosmic energy dissolved completely, and he became one with the universe. Every fiber of his being pulsed with the combined strength of the natural world and the celestial unknown, and he perceived the intricate connections that bound them all together. In that state of transcendence, a vision unfurled before him, images of ancient warriors who had once harnessed similar energies, symbols of power etched into the fabric of the cosmos, and the infinite cycle of creation, preservation, and renewal. In this visionary state, Naruto understood that the cosmic chakra was not a tool for mere destruction, but a force that could catalyze change, a power to create new paths and mend broken destinies. When he finally emerged from this meditative trance, Naruto was forever changed. With trembling hands, he attempted to reproduce the sensation by channeling the cosmic energy through his signature technique. As he gathered his chakra, he whispered words that seemed to resonate with the very heartbeat of the universe, a mantra that symbolized the balance between light and darkness, hope and despair. In a burst of blinding radiance, he unleashed what would come to be known as the Celestial Rasengan. Unlike any Rasengan before it, the Celestial Rasengan was a swirling vortex of energy that carried the iridescence of distant galaxies. Its core shone with a brilliance that seemed to defy the night, and its edges pulsed with the rhythm of the cosmos. When Naruto hurled it at a target, a training construct crafted from the ancient stones of the arena, it exploded in a cascade of shimmering light and gentle, yet overwhelming force. The impact was both awe-inspiring and deeply humbling, a vivid demonstration of what could be achieved when mortal resolve met cosmic power. Beerus, who had been silently observing these developments, finally spoke with a tone that combined both approval and gravity. "Naruto, you have not only learned to harness the cosmic chakra, you have begun to define its true potential. Your Celestial Rasengan is a symbol of that balance, a beacon of hope and renewal. But remember, with great power comes the responsibility to use it wisely." Naruto nodded, his eyes reflecting a mixture of pride and solemn understanding. "I understand, Lord Beerus. I won't let this power control me. I will master it, and use it to protect those I care about." In the weeks that followed, Naruto devoted himself to a rigorous training regimen. Under the unyielding guidance of Whis and the ever-watchful presence of Beerus, he learned to integrate the cosmic chakra into every facet of his being. This was no mere physical training. It was a spiritual journey, a pilgrimage into the deepest corners of his own soul and the farthest reaches of the cosmos. Mornings would find Naruto meditating at the edge of the celestial platform, his silhouette bathed in the gentle glow of starlight. In those moments of quiet reflection, he would revisit the lessons learned during the trials and harness the cosmic chakra with every breath. Afternoons were reserved for intensive combat drills and energy manipulation exercises. Naruto practiced intricate movements, each one designed to refine his control over the cosmic energy and merge it seamlessly with his own chakra. Techniques that had once been considered the domain of legends were now emerging as extensions of his will. He discovered that the cosmic chakra could amplify not only his offensive abilities, but also his capacity for healing and restoration. In one poignant session, Naruto experimented with channeling cosmic energy to mend the bruises and cuts that marred his body, a practice that had once been reserved for his more mystical techniques. As he concentrated, the warm light of the cosmos flowed into his wounds, knitting flesh and bone with a tender, almost reverent power. It was a revelation, a glimpse into the delicate interplay between destruction and creation that lay at the heart of his newfound abilities. With each day of training, Naruto's techniques grew more sophisticated. He learned to weave the cosmic chakra into defensive barriers, constructs that could shield entire areas from harm. In one breathtaking demonstration, he created a dome of pulsating energy around himself and a group of training dummies, deflecting simulated attacks as if they were mere ripples on a pond. His movements were graceful yet resolute, each gesture an affirmation of the delicate balance between his own inner strength and the cosmic force that now flowed through him. One afternoon, as the celestial arena shimmered under the light of a radiant supernova, Naruto found himself reflecting on the journey that had led him to this moment. He recalled the countless battles, the lessons learned from mentors and friends, and the hardships that had shaped him into the warrior he was today. With a deep sense of gratitude, he realized that every struggle had been a necessary step toward unlocking the cosmic chakra, a power that was not simply granted but earned through perseverance, humility, and the unyielding will to protect those he loved. "I've come a long way," Naruto murmured to himself, watching as the cosmic energies danced around his fingertips. "But there's still so much more to learn." The stars above seemed to answer him, their gentle twinkling echoing the promise of infinite possibility. In that moment, Naruto vowed that he would continue to push the limits of his own potential, that he would not rest until he had fully mastered the art of blending his ancient ninja chakra with the boundless energy of the cosmos. Late one evening, as the cosmic arena was awash in the soft, ethereal glow of a nearby quasar, Naruto's training reached a crescendo. Surrounded by swirling galaxies and the hushed murmurs of the universe, he prepared to demonstrate a final technique, a synthesis of every lesson learned in his quest to unleash the cosmic chakra. Drawing a deep, centering breath, Naruto stepped into the center of a circular platform marked by ancient runes. He closed his eyes, and once more, he allowed the cosmic currents to envelop him. In that suspended moment, he could feel the pulse of the universe in perfect harmony with his own heartbeat. Every fiber of his being vibrated with the resonance of creation and destruction, a sacred symphony that spoke of destiny and renewal. With deliberate intent, Naruto extended both arms, summoning a torrent of cosmic energy that coalesced around him. The energy was incandescent, a dazzling amalgamation of light and power that radiated outward in concentric waves. As he focused his chakra, he began to weave intricate patterns in the air, the movements of his hands echoing the ancient symbols of balance and unity. Slowly, a massive sphere of energy began to take form, a radiant orb that pulsed with the raw, unbridled force of the cosmos. This was not merely a weapon, but a manifestation of everything Naruto had become, a guardian who could channel the duality of creation and destruction, a beacon of hope forged in the crucible of hardship and perseverance. With a final, resolute shout, he thrust the orb forward, sending it hurtling through the celestial arena like a comet blazing across the infinite night. The impact of the orb was cataclysmic, a cascade of light and energy that reverberated throughout the arena. As the shockwave subsided, Naruto opened his eyes to see the ethereal remnants of the cosmic force swirling around him. He could sense that the cosmic chakra was no longer an external element to be mastered. It had become an intrinsic part of his very essence. Whis approached, his expression one of quiet admiration. "Naruto, you have truly unlocked a power that few can fathom. The cosmic chakra now flows within you as naturally as your own life force. You have not only merged your energy with that of the universe, you have become a conduit for its eternal cycle of creation and transformation." Beerus, who had remained silent throughout much of the demonstration, allowed himself a rare smile. "Impressive. You've taken the first step toward transcending mortal limitations. But remember, the path ahead is still long and fraught with challenges. The balance you now wield is delicate, and you must continue to hone your mastery if you are to carry the weight of your destiny." Naruto, still panting from the exertion, nodded. His eyes burned with determination and a deep-seated understanding of the responsibility that came with such power. "I won't let you down," he vowed. "I'll keep training, keep growing, until I can use this power to protect everyone I care about and ensure that the balance of the world is preserved." As the cosmic arena slowly dimmed and the celestial bodies resumed their quiet dance, Naruto took a moment to reflect on his journey. He found a secluded spot on the crystalline ground and sat down, gazing up at the endless expanse of stars. In that quiet solitude, he allowed himself to fully embrace the enormity of what he had achieved. The cosmic chakra was now a part of him, a living, breathing force that would guide his actions and define his destiny. He recalled the countless hours of meditation, the moments of doubt and triumph, and the transformative lessons that had led him to this point. The journey had not been easy. It had required him to confront his innermost fears, to blend the teachings of his past with the infinite possibilities of the cosmos. But in doing so, he had uncovered a truth that resonated deep within his soul. True power was not measured by the magnitude of one's abilities alone, but by the wisdom to use that power responsibly, to balance the forces of creation and destruction in a way that brought hope rather than despair. In the soft light of the cosmic horizon, Naruto closed his eyes and made a silent promise, to himself, to his friends, and to the countless lives that depended on his strength. He would continue to train, to evolve, and to let the cosmic chakra guide him toward a future where every act of power was tempered with compassion and responsibility. The journey ahead was uncertain, and the challenges that awaited him would test him in ways he had never imagined. But in that moment, under the watchful gaze of 1,000 stars, Naruto felt an unwavering certainty. The cosmic chakra was more than a gift. It was a calling, a responsibility to uphold the delicate balance of the universe, and he was ready to answer that call. As the first light of a new cosmic dawn began to filter through the celestial arena, Naruto rose to his feet. The energy within him pulsed in quiet symphony with the universe, a constant reminder of the infinite potential that lay ahead. Every challenge he had faced, every trial that had pushed him to his limits, had led to this moment of transformation. Naruto's eyes shone with determination as he set his gaze on the horizon. The mastery of the cosmic chakra was no longer a distant dream. It was a part of his reality, a living testament to the endless cycle of struggle, growth, and renewal. With each step he took, he carried not only the hopes of the Hidden Leaf Village, but also the boundless promise of the cosmos. In the days to come, Naruto would continue to refine his techniques, blending the ancient art of ninjutsu with the cosmic energies that flowed through him. He would forge new bonds, face new adversaries, and unravel the mysteries that lay hidden in the interplay between creation and destruction. And through it all, he would remain steadfast in his commitment to protect and nurture the fragile balance that held the universe together. The cosmic dawn heralded not just the beginning of another day, but the birth of a new era. An era where a ninja from Konoha could stand shoulder to shoulder with the deities of the cosmos, wielding a power that was as awe-inspiring as it was transformative. In that quiet moment, as the light of countless stars bathed him in their gentle glow, Naruto Uzumaki embraced his destiny with an open heart and an unyielding spirit. For in the endless expanse of the universe, every star, every spark of light, and every ripple in the cosmic sea bore witness to the truth that power, when tempered with wisdom and compassion, could change the very fabric of reality. And Naruto was ready to become that beacon of hope, a guardian of balance in a world where the forces of creation and destruction danced in eternal harmony. The morning sun rose over the Hidden Leaf Village with a gentle warmth that belied the inner storm churning within Naruto Uzumaki. In the wake of his transformative training in the cosmic arena, his journey had taken him far beyond the familiar boundaries of his previous life. Yet, as the light filtered through the ancient trees and bathed the village in a golden glow, Naruto's heart was heavy with the realization of the responsibility that now lay upon his shoulders. This was the day he would learn, in the most profound and painful way possible, the true weight of being chosen as the successor to Beerus, the god of destruction. Naruto had always dreamed of greatness, of being recognized by those he admired and ultimately protecting his loved ones. But the revelation that a cosmic deity had chosen him as a potential successor stirred a tumult of conflicting emotions. He recalled that fateful moment in the clearing, the surreal meeting with Beerus, the cosmic energy that had whispered of destiny, and the enigmatic words that hinted at a future beyond his wildest dreams. Now, however, that promise had evolved into a heavy, almost oppressive burden. In the early hours of the morning, as the village began to stir, Naruto found himself sitting on a quiet hill overlooking Konoha. The peaceful chirping of birds and the soft rustling of leaves provided a stark contrast to the whirlwind of thoughts racing through his mind. His eyes, usually alight with exuberance and hope, were now clouded with uncertainty and solemn reflection. "I've always believed that my strength could bring hope," he thought, staring at the horizon. "But what if this power, this destiny, comes at a price I'm not ready to pay?" His internal monologue was interrupted by the sound of footsteps approaching. It was Kakashi Hatake, the revered sensei who had guided him through many battles and taught him the value of perseverance. Kakashi's one visible eye softened with concern as he sat beside Naruto. "Naruto," Kakashi began in a calm, measured tone. "I sense that something weighs on you today. You've come a long way, but I know that each step toward greatness carries its own burdens." Naruto looked up, his bright blue eyes searching for solace in his mentor's words. "I'm proud of what I've learned, Kakashi-sensei, but now I feel overwhelmed. Beerus spoke of me being his successor. That's not just a title, it's a responsibility to balance creation and destruction, to decide the fate of worlds. I'm not sure I'm ready for that." Kakashi placed a reassuring hand on Naruto's shoulder. "The path of a leader is never easy. When you were a child, you carried the loneliness of the world on your shoulders. Today, you carry the hope of your friends, your village, and now the cosmic balance itself. Embrace that burden, Naruto. It is both a gift and a challenge." Yet, as Kakashi's words sank in, Naruto couldn't shake the feeling of impending sacrifice. He thought of all the lives that depended on him, not only those in Konoha but also those in a universe that stretched far beyond his understanding. The cosmic energy he had learned to harness was both a beacon of hope and a destructive force, a duality that echoed in every aspect of existence. The realization was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Later that day, as Naruto made his way through the village, he noticed that the usual lively chatter among the villagers was tinged with a strange air of apprehension. It was as if they too sensed that something was different about him now. His comrades, Sakura, Sasuke, and even Shikamaru, looked upon him with a mixture of pride and concern. Their eyes carried unspoken questions about the nature of this new power, and the price he might have to pay for it. Sasuke, standing near the training grounds, approached him with an inscrutable expression. "Naruto," he said slowly, "I've noticed changes in you. It's not just the new techniques or the cosmic energy. There's a heaviness in your gaze, a burden you carry that wasn't there before. Is it really the responsibility of a god of destruction that troubles you?" Naruto sighed, running a hand through his spiky hair. "I never imagined that accepting such power would feel like a curse. Every time I tap into the cosmic chakra, I see the potential for both creation and annihilation. I worry that if I lose control or if I make the wrong decision, I could hurt everyone I love. How can I balance protecting them and fulfilling a destiny that might require sacrifice?" Sasuke's eyes narrowed, his voice low and thoughtful. "It's not a choice between protection and duty, Naruto. It's about understanding that every power has a cost. We both know that our past choices have led us here. Embrace the lessons of your journey. Remember that the strength to protect comes from acknowledging your vulnerabilities, not hiding from them." That conversation left Naruto with a bitter taste. The ideals he had clung to since childhood, the unyielding determination to save his friends and to fight against despair, now warred with the terrifying possibility of causing irreversible destruction. Each step he took on this newfound path was a constant reminder of the delicate balance between hope and devastation. That night, unable to find solace even in sleep, Naruto wandered to a secluded spot near the outskirts of the village. The moon hung low in the sky, casting long shadows that merged with his troubled thoughts. In the silence, memories of past battles and losses surged like ghostly echoes. He recalled the faces of those who had perished, the sacrifices made by his comrades, and the loneliness of his early days. a past that had shaped his resolve but also instilled in him a fear of failing those he loved. He remembered a time when he had believed that his mere determination could change the world. Now, with the weight of cosmic destiny pressing upon him, that belief wavered. What if this power, this role as the successor, demanded sacrifices so great that he could no longer be the cheerful, ever-determined ninja that everyone admired? What if the burden of maintaining cosmic balance meant that he would have to watch as parts of his own world crumbled? As these thoughts swirled, a quiet voice broke through the darkness. It was Hinata Hyuga, who had often been his silent pillar of support. Her gentle presence was a soothing contrast to the chaos in his mind. "Naruto," she whispered, coming to stand beside him. "I see the pain in your eyes. It's as if the weight of the world is crushing you." Naruto turned to her, his voice cracking slightly. "I'm afraid, Hinata. I'm afraid that if I accept this destiny, I might lose myself. I fear that the power meant to bring balance could easily tip the scales toward destruction. I don't want to become a monster, even if it means protecting the ones I love." Hinata reached out, her hand warm and steady against his arm. "You are not defined solely by your power, Naruto. It is your heart, your compassion, and your determination that make you who you are. I believe in you, and I know that you can find a way to shoulder this burden without losing yourself." Her words, simple and sincere, provided a momentary reprieve from the torrent of doubt. Yet, as they sat together beneath the star-strewn sky, the enormity of his responsibility loomed large. Naruto understood that his path was no longer a solitary one. It was intertwined with the fate of countless lives, both in the village and across the cosmos. The days that followed were marked by a series of introspective encounters and trials that forced Naruto to confront not only external threats, but also the darkest corners of his own soul. In quiet moments of solitude, he grappled with questions of identity, morality, and the true meaning of strength. He began to realize that being a successor wasn't merely about possessing extraordinary power. It was about accepting the consequences of that power. During one particularly grueling training session, Naruto found himself in the midst of a simulated battle designed by the combined teachings of his mentors and the cosmic trials he had endured. The enemy was not a physical foe, but a manifestation of his own inner fears. In the form of a shadowy figure that mimicked his every move, this phantom taunted him relentlessly, echoing every insecurity he harbored. "Is this truly the legacy you wish to bear?" The phantom sneered, its voice an eerie echo of his own doubts. "Can you protect those you love if you are consumed by the very power meant to safeguard them?" The duel was not one fought with fists or energy blasts. It was a battle of wills. Every strike Naruto delivered was met with an equally potent reminder of his deepest vulnerabilities. Each time he attempted to harness the cosmic chakra, the phantom's mocking laughter filled the air, threatening to erode the hard-won balance he had achieved. In a moment of overwhelming despair, Naruto fell to his knees, clutching his head as the relentless barrage of self-doubt threatened to drown him. It was in that darkness that the memory of his late mentor, Jiraiya, shone like a beacon. Jiraiya's voice, warm and encouraging, echoed in his mind. "The true burden of power is not the fear of destruction, but the courage to face the consequences of your choices. Your strength lies in your ability to learn, to adapt, and to rise each time you fall." With renewed determination, Naruto rose to his feet. He began to see the phantom not as an enemy, but as a reflection of the challenges he would always face. By accepting the phantom as part of himself, he found the strength to silence its taunts. In that defining moment, Naruto resolved to embrace his destiny fully, knowing that the burden of being a successor was as much about self-discovery as it was about wielding power. As Naruto strove to reconcile his inner turmoil, the external world continued to demand his attention. Rumors of unusual cosmic disturbances and unexplained phenomena began to spread throughout Konoha. Whispers among the village elders hinted at a shifting balance, a precursor to events that might test the very fabric of reality. One afternoon, as Naruto was returning from a brief training session, he was met by a delegation of village leaders and his closest friends. The air was thick with apprehension, and their eyes carried questions that no words could fully express. "Naruto," said the third Hokage, Tsunade, with a voice filled with both concern and hope. "The village has sensed a change in you. There is talk of cosmic forces stirring beyond our control. You have always been the beacon of hope for us. But now, with these newfound powers, we worry about the burden you carry." Naruto's heart ached as he met their gaze. "I understand your concerns, and I share your worries," he admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. "Every day, I feel the weight of this destiny. I know that I am being called upon to balance the forces of creation and destruction. But I fear that one misstep could lead to devastation beyond measure." Sasuke, standing a few paces behind, added quietly, "Great power always comes with great sacrifice. It is not only your strength that is tested, but your resolve and your willingness to shoulder the responsibilities that come with it." The room fell silent as Naruto absorbed the gravity of their words. The burden he bore was no longer an abstract concept. It was a tangible force that affected everyone around him. It was in that charged moment that Naruto made a vow to protect the village and to stand as a guardian for both Konoha and the cosmic balance, regardless of the personal sacrifices it might require. In the weeks that followed, Naruto's struggle with his destiny deepened. Each day, he trained relentlessly, seeking to hone his mastery over the cosmic chakra. Yet every victory was tempered by the looming question, at what cost did power come? He began to notice subtle changes in his demeanor, moments when the weight of his responsibilities threatened to override his naturally cheerful spirit. There were nights when insomnia took hold, and he would lie awake, staring at the ceiling, haunted by visions of a future where the balance he sought to maintain might shatter under the strain of his own decisions. One evening, as he sat on a quiet rooftop overlooking the village, Naruto recalled a conversation with Beerus from long ago. The god of destruction had spoken of cosmic cycles and the necessity of destruction to allow creation to flourish. Yet that notion, so abstract in the realm of deities, now resonated with a painful clarity. Naruto saw in his own eyes the reflection of that cosmic truth, a constant reminder that every act of creation carried the potential for ruin. A soft voice interrupted his thoughts. It was Shikamaru, who had come to offer his characteristic wisdom. "Naruto, I've been thinking about what you're carrying. It's not just the power itself, it's the choices you have to make every day. You're not alone in this. We're all here to help you bear this burden." Naruto's gaze met Shikamaru's, and in that moment, he felt a measure of relief. The acknowledgement of his inner struggle by his friends was a small but vital support in the lonely corridors of responsibility. "Thank you, Shikamaru," he said, his voice soft yet resolute. "I know I have friends who believe in me, and that gives me the strength to keep going. But sometimes the responsibility feels like it's more than I can handle." Shikamaru's response was measured, yet full of the weight of experience. Being a leader means making decisions that sometimes cost you more than you can imagine. It's not about never feeling burdened. It's about learning to carry that burden and still find the will to move forward. I'm not saying it's easy, but every choice you make shapes the future of this world. And I believe you have the heart to face it. Naruto took those words to heart, understanding that leadership was a path strewn with sacrifices, and that his inner strength would be tested time and again. He resolved that even if the burden of his destiny threatened to overwhelm him, he would keep fighting, for his friends, for his village, and for the cosmic balance that tethered the universe together. Despite the comfort of his companions, there were moments when Naruto felt profoundly alone. Late at night, when the village slept and the world was quiet, the reality of his destiny pressed in on him like an invisible weight. In these solitary hours, he would replay every moment of his transformation, the trials, the training, the overwhelming surge of the cosmic chakra, and wonder if he was truly capable of bearing such responsibility. On one particularly restless night, Naruto found himself wandering the village streets. The soft glow of lanterns illuminated his path, but no matter how many familiar sights he passed, his mind remained shrouded in doubts. Every face in the crowd seemed to reflect back at him the hope and trust of a community that believed in him, yet he felt a disconnect, a gap between the cheerful ninja they knew and the cosmic successor he was becoming. Sitting beneath a solitary tree, Naruto allowed himself to cry. The tears that fell were not of weakness, but of the overwhelming realization that greatness often came at the cost of immense solitude. In the quiet of that night, he recognized that the path he had chosen was as much about self-discovery as it was about power. It was a journey that would require him to reconcile the joy of living with the sorrow of inevitable sacrifice. In the silent conversation with his own soul, Naruto whispered. I don't want to lose who I am. I don't want to become so burdened by destiny that I forget why I fought in the first place. It was a promise to himself to never let the weight of his responsibilities erode the core of his identity, the flame that had burned within him since childhood. The turning point in Naruto's internal struggle came unexpectedly during a training session in which he was alone in the forest. Exhausted from the physical and emotional toll of his daily challenges, he allowed himself to collapse onto a soft bed of leaves. As he lay there, staring up at the sky where stars twinkled with eternal patience, a sudden clarity washed over him. In that serene moment, he recalled the words of his mentors, the encouragement of his friends, and the unwavering belief that had carried him thus far. The burden of being a successor was immense, yes, but it was also a reflection of the trust placed in him by the cosmos and by those who had believed in his potential from the very beginning. Naruto sat up slowly, his eyes now clear with determination. I must learn to carry this burden without letting it break me, he murmured. I will honor the sacrifices of the past and build a future where hope shines even in the darkness. With renewed resolve, he vowed that no matter how heavy the weight of destiny might become, he would remain true to his own heart and to the promise he had made to protect those he loved. In the days that followed, Naruto began to integrate the lessons of his solitude into his daily life. He resumed his training with a newfound focus, not only on the mastery of the cosmic chakra but also on the cultivation of inner balance. Each session was a meditation on the duality of power, the interplay between creation and destruction, light and darkness. During one intense sparring session with his closest allies, Naruto demonstrated his evolving control over both his physical abilities and his cosmic energy. Every move was measured and deliberate, as if he were both a warrior and a guardian of universal balance. His techniques were a blend of raw power and gentle restraint, a visible manifestation of the internal struggle he had finally begun to master. As he trained, Naruto often recalled the words of Beerus, that the power to destroy was also the power to create. This paradox, which had once filled him with dread, now resonated with a sense of purpose. The burden of being a successor was not simply the threat of devastation. It was also the opportunity to rebuild, to restore, and to lead by example. One afternoon, as he demonstrated a new technique to a small group of curious onlookers from Konoha, Naruto explained with quiet conviction. This power isn't meant for mindless destruction. It is a tool, a responsibility that I will use to protect and to heal. I know it comes with a cost, but every cost has its worth if it means safeguarding the ones I love. The words carried the weight of his journey, and for a moment, the faces of those gathered shone with hope. In that instant, Naruto understood that true leadership was not about shouldering the burden alone. It was about inspiring others to find strength in the face of adversity. Yet, even as Naruto embraced the responsibilities that came with his newfound power, a persistent question lingered. Could he truly remain the person he always was while carrying the weight of cosmic destiny? The more he delved into his training and accepted the mantle bestowed upon him, the more he realized that every choice he made would have far-reaching consequences. During a private meeting with Whis and Beerus later that week, Naruto was presented with a vision of what the future might hold if he failed to maintain balance. The vision was a tapestry of contrasting images, a world flourishing with hope and unity, interspersed with scenes of chaos and ruin. It was a stark reminder that the burden of his power was not merely an abstract concept, but a tangible force that could alter the fate of entire worlds. Beerus's deep, rumbling voice broke the silence as he addressed Naruto. Being chosen as my successor means that you will face challenges that test not only your strength, but your very soul. The burden of this power is immense, Naruto. It is a path filled with sacrifice, and there will be times when you must choose between what is easy and what is right. Naruto met Beerus's gaze without flinching, his resolve hardening with every word. I understand, Lord Beerus. I accept the weight of this destiny, not for power's sake, but because I believe that by embracing both creation and destruction, I can forge a better future for everyone, Whis added gently. Remember, Naruto, that you are never truly alone. The support of those who believe in you, combined with the strength that comes from within, will guide you even in the darkest of times. The burden of a successor is heavy, but it is one that you have the capacity to bear. Those words echoed in Naruto's mind long after the meeting had ended. They were a reminder that while the burden of being a successor was fraught with trials and uncertainty, it was also a call to rise above his limitations, to become a symbol of hope and resilience in a world that teetered on the brink of chaos. As the days turned into weeks, Naruto began to more fully embrace the dual nature of his destiny. In quiet moments of reflection, he penned letters to his friends and allies, expressing both his gratitude for their unwavering support and his own fears about the future. These letters were not just confessions of vulnerability. They were affirmations of his commitment to the path he had chosen, a testament to the idea that even the heaviest burdens could be shared among those who cared. One such letter, written under the soft glow of twilight, read, "To those who have stood by me through every trial and triumph, I have learned that true power is not measured by the strength of our fists, but by the courage of our hearts. I bear a burden now that is both a gift and a trial, a responsibility that reaches beyond the confines of our world. Yet I promise to honor the trust you have placed in me, to forge a future where creation and destruction exist in balance. Together, we will face whatever comes, for the light of hope can overcome even the darkest night." The act of writing these words allowed Naruto to externalize his internal struggles. He realized that sharing the burden did not make him weaker. It made him stronger, as it bound him more closely to those he was determined to protect. With each word, he reinforced his resolve to meet the challenges of his destiny head-on, even as the specter of sacrifice loomed large. Late one evening, as Naruto walked along the outskirts of Konoha, the village bathed in the soft luminescence of a full moon, he paused before a quiet lake. The water was perfectly still, reflecting the myriad stars above, a mirror to the universe itself. In that moment, he allowed himself to envision the future, a future where he would be forced to make choices that could alter the course of history, a future where the balance between creation and destruction rested on his shoulders. He saw visions of battles yet to come, battles not only against external foes but against the inner demons that threatened to tear him apart. He saw himself standing at the crossroads of destiny, with every decision leading to a different outcome. Some futures glowed with the promise of renewal and unity, while others were shrouded in the darkness of regret and ruin. Naruto's heart pounded as he took in the weight of these visions. He realized that each step forward would require sacrifice. Sacrifices not only of the present but of the innocence of his past. The burden of being a successor was not a temporary mantle to be cast off after a single trial. It was a lifelong commitment to the delicate balance of the cosmos. As the night deepened, he made a silent promise to the stars above. "I will carry this burden with honor," he vowed softly. "No matter how heavy the responsibility, I will never lose sight of who I am. I will be both a guardian and a beacon of hope, even if that means walking a lonely path." In the following days, Naruto began to experience the emotional toll of his newfound responsibilities in ways he had never anticipated. There were moments when the cosmic energy coursing through him would surge uncontrollably, reminding him of the immense potential for destruction that lay just beneath the surface. In those times, the pain of his own uncertainty would be overwhelming, and he would retreat into solitude to mend his spirit. During one particularly taxing afternoon, while training in a secluded clearing, Naruto's control over the cosmic chakra faltered. The energy flared, uncontrollably weaving through his body and threatening to tear him apart from within. In that critical moment, he was forced to confront the reality that his power was not merely a tool. It was a living, breathing force that demanded constant vigilance and control. Panting and exhausted, Naruto collapsed to his knees, his vision blurred by a mix of sweat and tears. In the midst of that vulnerable moment, the voices of those he loved, the laughter of his friends, the warm encouragement of his mentors, echoed in his mind. It was a reminder that every ounce of power came with the risk of pain, and that the journey toward balance was fraught with moments of despair. It was then that he heard a soft, yet insistent call. "Naruto, don't give up!" The voice was gentle, yet filled with a strength that resonated deep within him. It was the voice of his inner self, urging him to rise above the overwhelming tide of doubt and pain. Summoning every last reserve of determination, Naruto forced himself to stand. He closed his eyes, focusing on the steady rhythm of his heartbeat and the distant hum of the cosmos, and slowly, the energy within him began to stabilize. With every breath, he regained control, a tangible reminder that even the heaviest burdens could be borne with perseverance and the support of those who believed in him. In time, the tumultuous days of doubt gave way to a fragile peace. Naruto realized that the burden of his destiny was not something to be feared, but something to be embraced with humility and courage. The role of Beerus' successor was not a curse. It was a calling that demanded he be the bridge between two extremes, the beacon that could guide the world through the darkness and into the light. In a quiet ceremony held in a secluded part of the village, with only a few trusted friends gathered around, Naruto publicly accepted the weight of his destiny. He stood before them, the cosmic energy subtly shimmering around him, and spoke with a voice that carried both the pain of sacrifice and the hope of renewal. "I have been given a power that transcends what I ever imagined," he began, his eyes reflecting both the sorrow and the determination of his journey. "I carry the burden of destiny, a responsibility to maintain the balance between creation and destruction. I know that this path will force me to make choices that may hurt those I love, and that the cost of power is often paid in sacrifice. But I promise you this, I will never let that burden break me. I will use this power to protect our home, our future, and the very essence of life itself." The words hung in the cool night air, a solemn vow that resonated with the hearts of all who listened. In that moment, Naruto was no longer just the spirited ninja of Konoha. He was the living embodiment of a destiny that spanned worlds, a guardian tasked with preserving the delicate balance of existence. As dawn approached once more, Naruto stood atop the hill where his journey of self-realization had begun. The rising sun cast long, soft shadows across the land, a gentle reminder that every new day carried with it the promise of hope and renewal. But within Naruto's heart, the burden of his destiny remained a constant presence, a reminder that true greatness was forged in the crucible of sacrifice and responsibility. He reflected on the long road ahead, a road filled with challenges, difficult decisions, and moments of both triumph and heartache. Yet he knew that he would not face these trials alone. The support of his friends, the wisdom of his mentors, and the enduring strength of his own spirit would be his guiding lights. The burden of being a successor was heavy, but it was also a path he had chosen with open eyes and an unyielding heart. In that final moment before the new day broke, Naruto made a silent promise to the universe and to himself, that he would continue to honor the delicate balance between creation and destruction, to use his cosmic power for the greater good, and to remain true to the values that had defined him since his earliest days in Konoha. For within him burned not only the energy of the cosmos but the enduring light of hope, a light that would guide him, even as the burden of destiny pressed heavily upon his shoulders. And as he turned his gaze toward the horizon, Naruto Uzumaki embraced his role as the successor of Beerus, knowing that the journey ahead would test him in ways he had yet to imagine, but also that every challenge was an opportunity to shine brighter than ever before. The morning air in Konoha was crisp, carrying with it the faint scent of dew and the promise of a new beginning. But within Naruto Uzumaki, there raged a tempest of emotions, a potent mixture of anticipation, anxiety, and an unwavering determination to master the extraordinary power that had been thrust upon him. Now, as the weight of destiny pressed upon his shoulders more heavily than ever, he understood that to become the successor of Beerus, the god of destruction, he must transform not only his physical abilities but also the very essence of his spirit. This was not mere training. It was the arduous journey toward becoming a god in the making. The celestial arena, when Naruto had unlocked the cosmic chakra, had become his new training ground, a place where time itself seemed to stretch and twist at the whims of cosmic energy. No longer confined to the physical world, he found himself in a vast, ethereal expanse where shimmering crystalline platforms floated in an endless void of star-speckled darkness. Nebulae swirled like vibrant brushstrokes across the sky, and distant galaxies pulsed in rhythms that mimicked the beating of his heart. Here, the air was charged with a power so immense that every breath felt like inhaling pure energy. It was in this surreal environment that Beerus and Whis had chosen to begin his godly tutelage. Their presence was both reassuring and formidable. Beerus, with his feline grace and inscrutable eyes, exuding the raw force of a deity, and Whis, with his gentle, otherworldly demeanor, guiding Naruto with wisdom honed over countless millennia. Standing on a platform that glowed with a pale, inner light, Naruto closed his eyes and centered himself. The memories of his past, the loneliness of his childhood, the struggles he had faced as a ninja, and the countless battles that had tested his spirit, swirled around him like fragments of stardust. Now, those memories would serve as both a foundation and a contrast to the limitless potential of the cosmic chakra that coursed through him. His journey of training was not only about mastering power but also about understanding the delicate balance between destruction and creation. Whis approached Naruto with an elegant, almost imperceptible smile, his voice soft yet imbued with the authority of ages past. "Naruto," he began, "the power you now possess is not akin to the chakra you've known all your life. It is the energy of the cosmos itself, a force that transcends the mere physical. To harness it, you must learn not only to control its magnitude but also to integrate its rhythm into your very soul." With those words echoing in his mind, Naruto began a series of unconventional exercises that pushed the boundaries of traditional ninjutsu. The first task was to merge his innate chakra with the undulating waves of cosmic energy that surrounded him. He sat in deep meditation on a crystalline dais, focusing on the distant hum of the universe. Slowly, he extended his inner energy outward, feeling it mingle with the vibrant currents that rippled through the void. At first, the experience was disorienting. Visions of swirling galaxies, bursts of brilliant light, and the quiet murmur of ancient stars invaded his consciousness. But with time and perseverance, Naruto began to perceive a harmony between his own essence and that of the cosmos. The cosmic chakra, once a wild and untamed force, gradually began to respond to his will, coalescing into a steady, rhythmic pulse that mirrored his heartbeat. Under Whis' tutelage, Naruto experimented with channeling this combined energy into a controlled stream, much like molding water with one's bare hands. The process was painstaking, filled with moments of frustration when the energy rebelled against his commands, and moments of sublime clarity when he managed to shape it into something tangible. With every failure came new insight, and with every success, a spark of hope that he could one day master this celestial power. Whis watched silently as Naruto's form was bathed in a luminescent glow, each pulse of energy marking progress in his transformation. "Do not rush, Naruto," Whis advised gently. "Power of this magnitude requires not only strength, but wisdom and patience. It is the essence of the cosmos, a force that, if left unchecked, can consume you, but when tamed, it can become a wellspring of creation and renewal." Naruto nodded, his eyes fixed on the ever-changing dance of cosmic energy. The task ahead was monumental, yet the challenges only fueled his determination. He began incorporating intricate hand signs and meditative postures into his daily routine, each movement designed to focus and direct the cosmic chakra with precision. The training was as much a mental and spiritual journey as it was a physical one, and every moment spent in concentration reinforced the bond between his soul and the universe. One of the most significant milestones in Naruto's training was the refinement of his signature technique, the Rasengan. Over the years, his Rasengan had evolved from a simple sphere of swirling chakra into a symbol of his unwavering determination. Now, infused with the cosmic chakra, it was poised to become something far greater, a celestial Rasengan capable of channeling the dual forces of creation and destruction. The process of evolving his Rasengan began with the painstaking fusion of his traditional chakra with the celestial energy he had been cultivating. Standing before an ancient stone monument inscribed with runes from forgotten cosmic cycles, Naruto focused intently. He recalled the steady, rhythmic pulse of his heart as he summoned both his inner strength and the newfound cosmic force within him. As his chakra swirled, it took on hues never seen before: deep blues, iridescent violets, and glimmers of gold that hinted at the light of distant stars. With every rotation of energy, the celestial Rasengan began to take shape, its core pulsing with a brilliance that seemed to rival the light of the sun. The training session was both beautiful and terrifying. With each attempt, the energy surged and contracted, as if the universe itself were challenging Naruto's control. During one particularly intense session, the energy of his celestial Rasengan flared uncontrollably, threatening to tear through the very fabric of his being. For a brief, heart-stopping moment, Naruto felt the overwhelming force of the cosmos surge inside him, a tidal wave of raw power that threatened to overwhelm his consciousness. Panic and doubt crept in, and he struggled to reassert control. In that critical juncture, The memories of his mentors and the echo of his friends' voices provided the grounding he so desperately needed. With a deep, centering breath, he drew on every lesson learned, every sacrifice made, and slowly, the turbulent energy began to calm. When the storm of power subsided, the celestial Rasengan had transformed into a stable, shimmering orb of cosmic light, a perfect synthesis of his will and the infinite energy of the universe. Standing there, panting with exhaustion and awe, Naruto knew that this breakthrough marked a turning point in his journey. The celestial Rasengan was not just a weapon. It was a manifestation of his evolution, a symbol of the potential to bridge the mortal and the divine. Beerus, who had been silently observing from a distance, finally spoke in a tone that mixed approval with a hint of amusement. "You've done well, Naruto. The celestial Rasengan is a testament to your growth. But remember, power is a double-edged sword. Use it wisely, and always remain mindful of the balance you must maintain." Naruto's heart swelled with a blend of pride and responsibility. "I understand, Lord Beerus," he replied, his voice steady despite the lingering tremors of exertion. "I will strive to honor the trust you've placed in me and use this power to protect those I care about." Beyond the refinement of individual techniques, Naruto's training encompassed a series of trials designed to push him to his absolute limits. One such trial was the Cosmic Gauntlet, a grueling course set in a corridor of shifting cosmic landscapes that tested not only his mastery of the cosmic chakra but also his ability to adapt to unpredictable and chaotic forces. The Cosmic Gauntlet was a marvel of cosmic design, a seemingly endless corridor lined with ever-changing environments, from the crushing pressure of collapsing stars to the serene voids between galaxies. Each segment of the gauntlet presented its own set of challenges, forcing Naruto to rely on his instincts, training, and inner resolve. At the start of the gauntlet, the environment shifted rapidly, a storm of cosmic debris, where fragments of celestial bodies hurtled past him at incredible speeds. Naruto had to use his newly honed reflexes and control over the cosmic chakra to create a protective barrier around himself. With precise movements, he extended his hands, and a dome of shimmering energy formed, deflecting the incoming shards of stardust and cosmic matter. Every impact sent tremors through his body, yet he maintained his focus, drawing strength from the very chaos around him. As he advanced deeper into the gauntlet, the challenges grew more abstract. In one segment, time itself seemed to fracture, moments stretched into infinity, and past and future merged into a single, overwhelming present. Here, Naruto found himself confronting vivid hallucinations, images of every failure, every loss, every moment of despair he had ever experienced. The gauntlet forced him to relive the pain of loneliness and the bitter taste of regret. But in